Wildfires are a widespread phenomenon in Australia that can drastically change the environment and cause widespread destruction. It is important for us to understand the relationship between climate and fire in the past so we can better predict the frequency and severity of fires in the future. Underground caves may not be the first place you would think to look for information about wildfires that have happened thousands of years ago. But caves, and more importantly, stalagmites and stalactites that grow there, may hold long records of past fires. Stalactites and stalagmites are formed when rain falls on the soil. As the water infiltrates through the soil, it absorbs large amounts of carbon dioxide that is produced by vegetation roots and microbes in the soil. This forms a corrosive solution called carbonic acid. When this acid reaches the limestone bedrock below, it dissolves the very soluble calcium carbonate. This calcium-rich solution moves through the bedrock to the roof of the cave. As the solution enters the cave, the carbon dioxide is removed and a layer of calcite is deposited. It is the buildup of these calcite layers that forms the stalactites you see here. Stalagmites can give us information about past climates, like tree rings. If you cut a tree in half, you will see the growth rings. The number of rings shows us how many years old the tree is, and the thickness of a ring shows how much it grew that year, and therefore how much rain fell. Similarly, if you cut a stalagmite lengthways, you will see that it also grows in layers. It is what's in these layers that gives us information about what the climate was like in the past. The question we are trying to answer is, if there is a wildfire, is there a fire signature in the soil that can be transported by water into the cave and deposited on the stalagmite? If we can identify this signature and date the layers, we will have a record of past wildfires. So how are we doing this? We are deliberately setting fires so we can monitor what happens in the cave below, particularly the impact on the water that forms the stalagmites. We have also set up controlled lab experiments to model the processes happening in the cave. So far, we have found 2 potential fire signatures, which we will now start to look for in the stalagmites. This research allows us to study the change in fire regimes since European settlement of Australia, and even as far back as when the first humans set foot on this continent. Our approach for using stalagmites as wildfire records can be used across the world where limestone caves and fires occur.